Well, I want to welcome you. This is a historical event for us, particularly for me, because this is our first one. This concept started about a year ago. I've been doing Wounded Warriors at the Semper Fi Odyssey, where I met Sean, for the last 10 years, 4 or 5 times a year, going up to the mountains and interviewing Wounded Warriors on Fridays. We're doing a mock interview so they get some experience in finding work and talking to people. And the rest of the week they were working on getting their life together, making a plan, and so on and so forth. And in the process, I ascertained that one of the biggest problems that guys with PTSD have is, and I'm not qualified to make any medical judgment or spiritual judgment. I'm just a common, ordinary guy. But in my opinion, what the guys need more is somebody to talk to who has been there, who's been in war and understands what it feels like to be shot at, to be surrounded by explosives, and so on and so forth. And in hearing stories from other veterans of what they've been through and how they've dealt with it, how they've helped others deal with it, I think maybe that will be helpful to a lot of veterans. And there's a longer story involved in how I came up with the concept of spiritual healing. I like to say it's a search for God's help in dealing with the wounds of combat. Others have strongly suggested, like General Jones, well, you don't say God because there might be Hindus and Buddhists and stuff like that. Well, it's whoever the higher power is that you believe in. For me, that's God. So I talk about God. But, you know, I'm not trying to offend anybody. So that's what we're doing. I had this concept a year ago. I started the planning last year, about this time. And a friend of mine, I met a friend of mine that goes to our church from up here. I met her down in Orlando. She said, well, why don't you do something for veterans? And because she knew that I told her that I would like to do something significant with the rest of my life. And I said, well, I already do. 5 times a year I go do interviews on Fridays at Semper Fi Odyssey. She said, that's not big enough. You can do bigger than that. So I took it from there, and from there it was all my idea. And I said, this is what I'm going to do. So that's what we're all about. I've got a guy here, Ed, who's on our board of directors. He does filming. He's going to take pictures and video for one reason, because we want to get the word out to other people. We have to let veterans know that we're here and we're willing to help. There are lots of veterans organizations that touch on spiritual healing, but that's not the only thing they do. They do other things, so that might be a couple hours. all we're doing is spiritual healing. And so I want the video, I want film, and we have to be able to, just like at Semper Fi Odyssey, we have to be able to reach down and tell our innermost secrets in public, in this group, and like General Jones says, what comes out in this room stays in this room, and we don't talk about it. We're trying to heal, and when you have to heal, you have to be able to talk about what it is that's bothering you. And we are starting to make some very good progress with getting the word out. I've been going every place I can to talk to people. I met a lot of guys today and other times at Semper Fi Odyssey. So we're doing our best to try to get the word out. And you guys can help us do that too if you think what we're doing is worthwhile. Because of the way that this came about, I feel like it's my mission from God. I think He sent that lady to give me some impetus, and I think she did. And I am not a preacher like Sean. I'm not an ordained minister like Father John. I'm just a guy who goes to church and prays. And God has truly put this thing together for me. I haven't done much. I met Sean. That was God's work. I sat down one time next to an empty seat, the only seat available in that back row in the back, and that was a lady from, and the lady sat down there, and she happened to be with Semper Fi Odyssey, and I told her what I was doing, and she said, I asked her, I said, is that something you would help us with? And she said, yes. Well, it turned out later that they wouldn't, or at least they're hesitating now. Maybe I'll have to convince them. Maybe once I have a film to show them what we're doing. But when it comes to anything that's close to religion, they tend to stay away. So, but that's okay. It's not going to hold us up. I went to the VA yesterday for my annual doctor's appointment. And there's a lady there that, you know Carla? Carla's the mother of a girl that, of a kid that played baseball with and football with my brother's son, my nephew. And I knew she worked there, but I didn't know what she did. She said, hey, I hear you're having a big retreat this weekend. I said, yeah, how'd you know? She said, well, somebody told me. Jim told her. Oh, no, it was somebody. And I said, yeah. And I said, by the way, what do you do here? She said, I counsel people. I can send you people. Now, I mean, did I do anything to deserve that? No. God told her, hey. And you know what? I was getting mad because I had to sit there for an hour before I got in to see the doctor. And I was ready to leave. God said, wait, just wait a minute. And there she came. So things have happened. I've had some very nice, generous donors. And anytime I have generous donors, I like to, I'll invite them to come and see what we're doing. And it's been great. So we're getting started. Anybody want to say anything?
I appreciate. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
As I say, I appreciate your effort and trying to put this together. I think that's a wonderful thing.
So thank you. It's why I get up every morning. I'm going to do it until I'm dismissed.
Amen.